from the Prairie Cardiovascular Studios in Central Illinois. Now on WAND News.
Investing in the energy grid.
We care about the little guy. We care about the consumer.
The proposal on Governor Pritzker's desk and how it could affect your power bill.
That depth of cold air continuing to increase. So today was a big step down. Tomorrow's yet another one. We're doing the number crunching when I see you again.
And the advice, pack your patience for the busiest travel day of the year. How to ensure a smooth trip if you're hitting the road or the skies. All right, here we are. Thanksgiving Eve. Shaping up to be a cold turkey day. Some wet weather on the horizon for the weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Jim Kosick is tracking the latest. So, Jim, what's the outlook for the holiday?
It's cold. More times than not, we're actually going to be below freezing, not just below average. And the average high temperature this time of year is 45. So when you take a look at feels like temperatures, they're almost a good 20 degrees below that mark. So the wind definitely exacerbating the recent chill across our area. Now, the wind won't be as strong for the remainder of the nighttime hours compared to earlier. We had numerous spots with peak wind gusts over 40 miles an hour. Lake Shelbyville didn't update, but Vandalia is gusting to 44. Elsewhere, it's mostly 20s into the 30s. So with that wind coming down, our latest high wind advisory has expired just at the top of the hour here. And the wind will continue to, albeit slowly, curtail itself. Now, we don't ditch it completely. There's still some gusts at least 20 plus miles per hour for the whole night on into our Thanksgiving day, and the depth of cold air will be increasing. Now, we don't have anything in terms of wet weather now, but the dry, cold air definitely plays a role in our next storm system, and I'll explain that in a few moments from now. Alyssa.
Okay, thank you, Jim. In other news, a man is in custody after a standoff with Decatur police last night.
Yeah, we brought you coverage. Police say Gerald Legions was already wanted for a suspected home invasion and was in a vacant house on Church Street by West Division in North Main. We got video of the scene there last night. Decatur officers got to the house around 7, but say he did not surrender until several hours later, with the scene clearing around 10:45 p.m. Legions is charged with multiple felonies now, including home invasion and residential burglary, due back in court in December.
And a man out on pretrial release is back in custody. Police say Jeffrey Ashby is accused of breaking into businesses in Danville back in August. He was out on pretrial release until his trial, but police say he was caught on camera breaking into another store and restaurant last night. About 20 minutes later, an officer saw Ashby wearing the same clothes as the suspect in the video of the break-in, and he was arrested.
One person is dead. This after a crash on Route 150 this morning, just before 11:30, near the Champaign-Vermilion County line in Fithian. State police say officers or troopers were called to a single vehicle crash and one person died. The road was closed for about 2 hours. The person has not been identified yet. We'll keep you updated on air and online. The holidays are a time that's supposed to be filled with gathering and joy.
But for many family and friends, even work gatherings can bring stress, guilt, and pressure to please. Life coach Bia Albina says gathering with family and friends can trigger old codependency and people-pleasing habits, leading to anxiety and not acting like yourself. She says planning ahead and understanding what's likely to happen and how you'll react or respond can help.
If you walk in dysregulated, meaning your nervous system's a hot mess, your nervous system thinks you're 13 and not 33 or 43, then every little comment's going to feel like death by 1,000 cuts.
Albina says simply looking around and naming things you can see while adding a phrase that's supportive can calm your nerves.
For those going out instead of cooking tomorrow, restaurants are seeing a spike in reservations. According to booking platform Open Table, reservations for the holiday are 13% higher year over year. It comes amid climbing grocery prices, but it's unlikely a Thanksgiving meal will cost less at a restaurant. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says restaurant prices are rising faster than those at the grocery aisles, the overall inflation. But the American Farm Bureau Federation finds the cost to prep Thanksgiving dinner for 10 is down for the holiday for a third year in a row. Holidays can bring busy travel plans, but transportation officials say safety is key. WAND's Lamaya Starnes talks with officials about how to lighten the load during the busy travel.
Thanksgiving Eve is the busiest travel day of the year. Whether you're hitting the road or flying out, transportation officials say small steps can help with the smooth travel.
Hey, pack a lot of patience. Give yourself extra time and space.
Central Illinois is expecting some winter weather this weekend, which could impact both road and air travel. IDOT says check your vehicle before road trips.
Make sure your gas tank is full. Prepare an emergency kit that has jumper cables, flares or reflectors, windshield washer fluid, an ice scraper, traction material.
The Fatal Four describes common mistakes drivers make that could lead to fatalities. Driving while intoxicated is one of them.
Going too fast can certainly make the difference between life and death. Using a cell phone, it's against the law in Illinois, has to be hands-free device.
Even air travel can come with some chaos. Coles County Memorial Airport encourages people to get to airports at least 2 hours early.
If there's any weather that could be slowing things down, the airplanes or the travel, it's always good to look at the weather and look at the weather where you're going.
Traveling through airports with small children can be a challenge as well.
Try to do things to make the children comfortable as far as having snacks or treats or whatever you normally bring.
The biggest tip of all, patience. Expect high traffic on the road and in airports. Be kind to your fellow travelers. Indicator, Lamaya Starnes, WAND News.
Now for updates on road conditions near you, head to gettingaroundillinois.com.
The Clean and Reliable Grid Affordability Act has arrived on Governor Pritzker's desk. WAND's Mike Militich explains Democrats and clean energy advocates are excited for the future, while Republicans argue the plan could hurt family budgets.
The massive energy bill calls for Illinois to build 3 gigawatts of utility-scale battery storage. It will also bring more wind and solar projects online, invest in geothermal technology, lift the state's nuclear moratorium, and help Illinois better plan for energy demand spikes.
We'll incentivize an estimated 1.8 gigawatts for these virtual power plants, which is energy storage, demand response, and other technology at homes and businesses, and this will be about 5.5 of our peak load.
Although Republicans and many downstate Illinoisans are concerned this will raise energy rates even higher.
We care about the little guy. We care about the consumer. It's going to be okay. We're doing this to get tough on those evil energy companies. Green's good, and we're going to lower your power bills. Well, you know what? Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you.
The Illinois Power Agency says deploying 3 gigawatts of battery storage could save Ameren and ComEd customers $13.4 billion over 20 years.
We really believe that this is the only bill that gives Illinois electricity customers a fighting chance to do something about sky-high rates.
Spencer said Illinois would have to buy power from out of state in less than 5 years if lawmakers failed to pass the plan. But Illinois manufacturers argue the measure will leave businesses and families with a $7 billion bill to pay for battery storage.
Rather than bailing out battery storage developers and their hedge fund owners, the bill should utilize the Illinois Finance Authority to fund these projects at below market rates so that developers assume the risk, not everyday Illinoisans.
Reporting in Springfield, Mike Militich, WAND News.
Governor Pritzker previously said he looked forward to signing this plan into law. Well, still ahead at 6, a 100-year-old ballpark under new ownership. The exciting changes coming to Robin Roberts Stadium.
A holiday tradition, the larger-than-life Christmas countdown, returning to Jacksonville next month.
Soon, the Friends of Robin Roberts Stadium nonprofit will own the 100-year-old ballpark.
Yeah, 2026 will be a busy year for the stadium. Full season for the Lucky Horseshoes, high school games, women's professional baseball league coming. The nonprofit has big plans for the future of the property. First comes critical updates like fixing the field.
Long term, we've created a vision for what we'd like to see with renovations in group areas and new clubhouses and new offices. So we have a pretty lofty goal, and the exciting part for us now is to some degree we can control our own destiny with going to hustle for the resources.
Nonprofit already seeking donations and looking at grant funding to ensure the stadium is well cared for.
The Eisenhower High School Marching Band has already started fundraising for what they say will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Student performers with the Marching Panthers were invited to perform in Hawaii next year with the Western Illinois University Mega Marching Band at the Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade. Band director Jennifer Morrow says the opportunity will be life-changing for these young musicians.
I've never even been to Hawaii. Most of these kids haven't been to Hawaii. Some of the kids haven't left the state. So it's just a big deal to get on an airplane for the first time, see the beach for the first time.
Yeah, but they do need your help to get there tonight at 10. Learn more about the Marching Panthers and what's being done to make this opportunity happen.
3 more forecasting days for our WA&D 3-degree guarantee benefiting Toys for Tots. So we can't hit $1,000, but we're going to break that 900-degree barrier. Next one, right after this.
A Springfield brewing company is looking to raise money after financial problems following that East Adams Street fire last year.
Buzz Bomb says they've struggled the past 18 months, facing fewer sales, equipment issues. To offset the financial hardships, the brewery is hosting Pint for a Purpose tonight, started at 5 and goes to 11. Has live music, food, drinks, and a silent auction. Also collecting donations. But if you can't make it out, online donations can be found, the information on our website.
A bricktacular exhibit coming to Jacksonville next week. The Jacksonville Museum's 4th annual Building with Brick, the Art of Lego exhibit. It will open December 3rd, featuring original and Lego kit creations made by all ages. Prizes will be awarded in several categories based on public voting. The exhibit can be seen during the museum's normal hours through February 28th.
Giving Jacksonville more love tonight. Also returning what's dubbed the world's largest advent calendar. The 110-foot tall Farmer State Bank and Trust Company turns its building into the countdown every year. Remember this, each window displays a symbol of the season with a new symbol revealed daily until December until Christmas. You'll be invited to come into the lobby during business hours and get a sweet treat. On December 1st at 4:45, the Illinois College Drumline will perform for the first reveal of the season.
From the WAND Connexus Weather Center, this is Chief Meteorologist Jim Kosek and the Roto-Rooter 7-day forecast.
And that month of December kickstarting Monday. So we're at the tail end of November right now, but hey, not too shabby as temperatures are staying above freezing for the time being. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case for the remainder of the nighttime hours. We take the plunge into the deep freeze. Feels like temperatures have been there all day long, and they'll continue to be there. We don't ditch the wind tonight. It does come down, though. Once we get after about 10, 11 o'clock, wind gusts will be away from 30 down into the 20s, on occasion into the teens, but still some gusts into the 20s as we go through our Thanksgiving afternoon. A little FYI, if you're running out, going to someone else's place for Thanksgiving dinner, or perhaps outside deep frying the bird, got to combat with that wind and the chill, of course. Clear skies for the time being. A little Clipper storm system just off to our west. That'll scoot down to our south and west and miss us. The rain and snow, that is, of course, but we'll pick up some of the clouds for a time period tonight. No big deal. But cold, dry air draining in. I'm going to come back to that cold, dry air. Here's our weekend snowstorm. A lot of real estate between us and it. And notice how the wet weather comes in right along the spine of the Willamette River. That's exactly the way it's going to set itself up when it arrives here Friday night. But it's fighting off dry air above our head because of that dry, cold air coming on in. So initially, this is Virga for several hours Friday night. Many of us may not see a flake until near or after daybreak Saturday. But at the height of the storm system, later Saturday morning into the afternoon, 1 inch of snow per hour, and it's a heavy, wet snow, okay? This isn't the powdery, fluffy one. This is good snowball-making snow fort weather, all right? Got the cold, though. Teens, 20s, all bottled up to our north and west, and even though we pick up some of the Clipper clouds, say that 3 times fast, they exit before daybreak, and yeah, we're looking at sunshine, maybe a few afternoon clouds. Beautiful, if you don't mind the cold and the wind, Thanksgiving Day. 23 degrees to get there. If you're up early, getting that bird in the oven, once again, feels like temperatures coming up in just a little bit. Temps 20s, 30s. Woo! It's a cold, dry one. Hopefully the bird isn't. But here we go. 10 o'clock tonight, mostly 20s, couple teens showing up early, start cooking. Yeah, that's what it feels like outside. That is harsh. And we stay at or, well, mostly below the freezing mark, even throughout the daylight hours. Wind calms down tomorrow night. So Friday, beautiful. That's the calm before the storm. So again, mostly Virga Friday night, but that storm Saturday. And this is terrible driving conditions. Even though we get above freezing, that only helps the snow melting compact. Could still snow at 34 degrees, okay? It's what's happening above our heads. Now, there will be mixed precipitation, especially nearer south of Interstate 72. Could be even farther south toward Illinois 16 with all snow farther to the north. That's what's going to be the overall riding aspect that we're dealing with in terms of accumulation. And I will have an accumulation map coming your way at 10 o'clock tonight for this storm system. Start, end time as well. So behind it, precipitation tapers off, we dry things out, but once it gets back down below freezing, and this is critical here, once it gets back down below freezing, Saturday evening, we stay below freezing, and it'll probably do so until the following Friday, which just so happens to be Spirit of Giving. But it'll still stay cold, so if you're bringing toys over to WA&D, dress appropriately, and we hope to see you then. Happy Thanksgiving. Adina.
Illinois men's basketball left today to head to the East Coast as they're getting closer to their matchup Friday against UConn. After the break, hear how they're preparing for their third top 15 matchup of the season.
WAND Sports is sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Illinois men's basketball gearing up for arguably their toughest test so far this season when they face UConn in 2 days. The Illini fans remember when they faced the Huskies 2 years ago in the Elite Eight, this time around hoping for a different outcome. Brad Underwood says with everyone getting back to healthy except for Ty Rogers, roles are changing from the first few games and still working out that rotation. But with preparation for Friday's game also comes with feeling out how the new guys are feeling, with several of them never playing in Madison Square Garden.
I don't know if it does or not. You know, it was, we'll talk about that as we go. Obviously, it's New York City, so they all are familiar with New York City and what that, what that city is. But the Garden is obviously unique, and they'll have an appreciation for it for sure when they walk into it.
Illinois and UConn take the court on Black Friday at the Garden. Tip-off is scheduled for 11:30 in the morning.